are now listening to the Fantasy Standard Podcast on Talkdown TV with P and Ryan.
Welcome to the Fantasy Standard Podcast on Talkdown TV. This is P alongside Ryan. If you're watching, it means you're on YouTube, and we kindly ask that you drop a like and hit that subscribe button. If you're listening, it means you're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audio Boom, and all other podcast platforms. For those of you there, we also kindly ask that you hit that subscribe button and leave a review, right? What's up,
yes,
Ryan? Yeah, another
good, brother.
Welcome to another year.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Football's around the corner, man.
Are you ready for this? Like, now that we've given us a break podcast, and we actually took a long break from this because we knew that we wanted to be fully refreshed and recharged to start.
Yeah, I've been ready since last year, man.
Oh, so you didn't even take a break?
Nah, man, you can't take a break in this league. I don't care what nobody says.
So you've been researching this entire time?
Since I lost, yes.
The funny thing, and it's not to knock our champ, but I think that here at this show, we had faith that you were going to get your first one. And I'm looking at my fantasy notes from like the last interview that I was going to schedule. And this is before like that we knew who the winner was going to be, obviously. And I don't know if it was something that I had like 2 outros prepared, but I only found one that was there. And it said for P and Ryan, our new champ.
Hopefully you can save it for this year.
So I didn't know whether I should delete that or if
keep it there. We might be using that at the end of the year.
So it was a big day for us yesterday.
Yes, sir.
What happened yesterday?
We had our draft finally. I felt like this day would never come.
How many mock drafts did you do?
Too many. I don't want to say for no reason, but I felt like going into our draft, it's hard to predict what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of savvy people in our league. So, I mean, I don't even like using the term reach anymore, especially in our league, because just take whoever you want. But things didn't unfold like I expected, but still be able to adjust and stay forward with the plan that I had intact.
Yeah.
How about for you?
I had I think I had the medal, that they give you for the most mock drafts. I think I had the top one before August even came around. And I mentioned that to Pooty, and I think it basically made it seem like that I'm more prepared than I actually felt, right? Because I felt like, I was going up against a lot of people doing PPR or half point PPR mocks, right? Ours is standard. I know we're like kind of a dinosaur when it comes to rules in fantasy. I think ours is harder. Some would beg to differ. But despite all of those mocks I didn't do any in August, or I did limited in August. And then I think I did a few the day before the draft, and I might have had the best strategy I ever had going into that. I got the A+, and I didn't even draft a kicker or a defense in that mock. That was the first time I've ever seen that.
Wow.
So I don't know if I found a hitch in the matrix, but I've never seen that before. So I said I was going to try to take that strategy next. Normally, I like rounding my team out. I feel like that's a really solid strategy. But I'm sure that we'll talk about that more as we come. I did want to note that we have footage from the farm that we talked about last year. Ryan and I actually surprised everyone because I like being prepared. Look, we're whiteboard people. We like having monitors, and I think Pooty called it too much technology. But this is our scouting department, man. So we have footage of that. We want to share it with you, but you would have to stick around until after our recap in order to watch it. It's a lot of good footage. It's a lot of fun. You get to see everyone from the league pretty much. And everything leading up to when the draft happened. Some things happened that were funny, and then even the end of it, the recap. So please stick around. Right. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we
Get into the draft recap.
Mm-hmm.
What I wanted to ask you is, because I think we talked about it a little bit before, like going into the draft. I know you talked about like a strategy you had and like
Mm-hmm.
the last couple of mocks that you had were your favorite. Like,
Yeah,
I'll talk about mine as well. And
go for
I
it.
mean, there's a plan for my team, but I want to let you go first.
Mhm.
What about how your team actually played out and how you actually wanted it? Because right, everybody goes in with a plan, but especially in our league, like a plan is only a
It's
plan
like
until it
Mike
actually
says,
happens.
everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly, and definitely got punched in the mouth.
Yeah, me too. I would say without, because we're obviously going to talk about this, right? Um, I think that the team that I had the day before, it had the similar strategy, so I knew when to pivot, right? And I knew
So what was your initial strategy?
so my strategy was I needed to get a wide receiver that I knew I wasn't going to have to worry about, because I had to trade for one last year. And all for years, I've been trying to overcompensate on stacking up receivers, but the middling round ones, right? And hoping that one of them pops. This is the first time that I say, look, I have a running back that I know is going to be like 2 running backs. Let me go get those
Yeah,
receivers. Let me go get those receivers.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I did a lot of research,
Mm-hmm.
especially in our league too. And I mean, most people think like I tilted or something if they look at my team and like, oh, he went I went receiver, and you'll see in the draft recap.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I looked at it even last season just to quickly. If people don't realize it in our league, I mean, I hope they'll realize it now. But the top 3 teams or the top borderline teams, like Alex's team last year,
Mm-hmm.
AJ Brown, DK Metcalf. Mike's team
Yeah.
last year was a 2 seed. Devonte Adams, wide receiver 1. He had Julio Jones, and he had who's this? Their I can't remember who their
I
receiver was.
forgot yet. Third.
Chris Godwin, I think he traded for.
I could
They-
get it. I could
Yeah,
get
he
it.
had Chris Godwin. But anyways, all this
Oh, it was
the
Godwin.
champ, yeah, the champ had Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, and Thielen, all wide receiver 1, wide receiver high end 2s. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I'm like, all these teams had great receivers. And I'm over here. I had 3 top 10 running backs last year, and they didn't feel. And I barely limped into the playoffs like a 5th and a 6th seed. I'm like, I know this is a standard league, but something ain't right, man. Like
Yeah.
it says something when you have top tier receivers that you can rely on week in and week out. And I looked for one all last year,
Mm-hmm.
especially after losing Goddard, and it just didn't work out. Like, so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be in that same boat this year. That's why I went the route I went, and you guys will see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't
Yeah.
just do this by accident.
Yeah. Nah, I feel one thing I did want to note, and this is something maybe that caused some of those punches in the mouth that we took that forced us maybe to deviate, was that I felt like a lot of people came prepared. When I heard some people were drafting from their phones, Keith was drafting from his phone. So was Pooty, and London was drafting
Yeah.
from his phone. So it was weird. Like, to me, I'm like, I can't imagine not drafting on my laptop and, being able to see things a certain way. But then, they brought it their way and said, you know, um, I'm used to seeing it this way. You imagine if I did have the laptop, that would kind of, and I could see how it would be overwhelming too, right? But both ways, both different strategies had people that took it right down to the wire, because it gets like that. You feel like 2 minutes just isn't enough sometimes, or whatever it
Facts.
is, the time that we get. Um, I'm sure we'll dig more into that, but is there anything else you got for
No,
us?
we can jump right into this.
All right, we'll jump right in this. We'll see you on the other side, but remember, stick around for a video of the experience at the farm with the Lights Out League. We'll see you on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, a brief moment to recap the Lights Out Fantasy Football League. Lights Out League, where you never know what Nelson will do next.
And we're back. I've been waiting all year to say that. I missed that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. And we're gonna start right from the draft results, round by round. If you want, I'll let you take it away from the beginning, observations, or how do you want to do this? You want to just round by round analysis?
Yeah, we can spend a few minutes on each round, saying, because I'm going to talk about Keith sniping me a couple of times. He definitely sniped me.
Yeah.
Suck drafting after him. But yeah, no, we can go round by round. I don't really want to talk about reaches for me because I don't really think that's a reach is what
It
does
has
that
to
even
be
mean anymore?
egregious. It has to be really
Yeah,
egregious for it to be.
yeah.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. All right, we'll get right into it then.
So looking at this first round, obviously CMC going first, not a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think about taking anybody else at one? I know everybody else thought
Nah.
you were, but
No. Honestly, not as much as just me thinking that it would be the 1 year that I would let a number one pick, a consensus number one go, and somebody else pick him up and he'd pop, and I won't hear the end of it.
Yeah, it's no regret.
So peer pressure really made that happen. It's like, nah, I was going CMC no matter what. Workout videos really helped too.
Word up.
Yeah. With Dalvin, I felt like with Let's Go, we've had a tumultuous relationship the last few years due to inactivity, right? Because we know that he could play. But you never know, right? The consensus is Dalvin Cook number 2. But yeah, I didn't know whether or not we were going to get the consensus out of him, and I'm glad we did. And he did come to play this day. So Kamara going third, that was a bit of a surprise but it's because he was just faking us all out this whole time. Right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he mentioned everybody but Kamara the whole time. And I would have took Kamara third too. I think that's a great pick there.
Yeah. UAA with Henry, which is, it's good to see that he didn't go, Ubra or ultra
off the
unorthodox on this one, but he went with it. And Derrick Henry's a nice number 4, right? Number 4 pick. Number 5, Nick Chubb. That's where it was surprising. Personally, it was, but that offensive line is great. Those running backs are going to produce. In none of my mocks, I didn't really see Chubb going that high too much. I'd have to go back.
I agree. And then Jones coming off after him. I knew it was going to be a runs of running backs, but I didn't think it was going to be this running back heavy. I know our league is known for that. And this being a standard league, that's like a normal thing. Like running backs are gold. I know I broke that mold at 7 going Tyreek Hill. I don't think anybody was shocked, to be honest.
Yeah.
At that point for me, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jonathan Taylor being on the board, maybe that was something to consider, right?
That's what I was thinking about too.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about Jonathan Taylor there, but again, Mac being back, a lot of uncertainties. For me, there's no doubt Tyreek Hill is gonna get work.
Yeah,
no doubt. And again, I said, I had a strategy going in. I was gonna be taking receiver no matter what. Running back was there for me, and that's what I did. I took who I thought is the most explosive player in fantasy football, and I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to be safe here.
Yeah, facts. And obviously, it's with Sammy Watkins gone, those targets got to go somewhere, right?
Facts.
That's a solid pick, man. I think if you were to scale his productivity, you can kind of scale it to a running back that gets, those 20 touches a game. He's a dangerous weapon. Jonathan Taylor, I still think is nice at 8. Personally,
yeah, no, that's a great
really
pick.
Good. And Zeke at 9 is mind-boggling, but it would be HHM to land a Zeke at 9. The first surprise only because of who took him, right?
Yeah.
I thought someone else was.
I knew he kept talking about Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey. I'm like, you talking about it too much, man. You ain't doing that. I know you too well.
Oh, so he came in there bluffing.
I told him right before the draft, I'm like, you're not taking Mahomes, man.
Okay.
And he took Najee, so it's not bad. Not a bad pick.
It's a good pick, especially with Pittsburgh and the way they want to go back and use those running backs, right? They want to go back to the grounded pound because Big Ben looks a little cooked.
Yeah.
Devonte Adams, man, if there's value in the first round, I think this is it right here. To get Devonte 11th, especially when Devonte could have been a top 6, 7, 8 guy, 9 guy. and no one would really bat an eye. And to get him at 11, Eckler was surprising to see there at 12, don't you think?
Yeah. Kind of where he was going.
No, but Eckler and Ridley, now that's nice.
Yeah, Ridley was somebody I was targeting in the second round. So him taking him there kind of was like, whoop.
And then this is the guy that fell the most to me. The fact that he didn't go in the first round. Saquon being there for dead presidents who has Devonte. I mean, a tier 1 wide receiver, a potential tier 1 elite running back, right? Then you got Little Table Pooty, who turned around and got Gibson. Was Gibson on your radar? Because I know Gibson's got a lot of...
I was hoping he came back to me at pick 6 in the second round.
Yeah, he's got a lot of appeal. They're going to give him the ball a lot out there. You already hear Rivera and everybody in Washington talking about, pushing his touch limits to see where he can go. Kelsey falling to HHM. Kelsey
was crazy.
Kelsey was in the first round. I would say about 80% of my mocks.
Facts. Yeah, that was a good value pick there.
Yeah. Then we got Stephon Diggs, Suicide Squad. He was talking about Josh Allen outside to us. I mean, he kept hinting about, oh man, Josh Allen's not really going to fall there, third round. He said that. And
he paired him up.
He got the stack. So that was really nice. Nice setting up. Suicide Squad with Taylor, Diggs, and Josh Allen. It's nice right there so far. DK right after that, which is like, so were you influenced at all with Stephon Diggs going, or was that like in your queue, this is the guy I want to go with?
Yeah, so there I was initially, my plan was to go receiver, running back. I was hoping like Gibson fell, Eckler fell, Harris fell, one of those guys, but that didn't. And at that point I told myself, all right, best available wide receiver in my opinion is who I'm going to take. I was hoping Ridley would be there. He was gone. If Kelsey fell, I would have took him maybe there. But I saw DK and I was like, man, if I can have DK and Tyreek Hill, I think they're game changers. They really break games. And at that point, I was like, I'm not taking another receiver till who knows when. Yeah. Like I wasn't in love with Joe Mixon or Clyde. I could have took Mahomes and had that stack there. I thought about that. Not gonna lie, but at that point, I was like, it's gonna hurt my team to take quarterback early.
Okay. Joe Mixon, he's still young. It feels like he's been in the league for like 15 years. He's still young. So at round 2, when, that could be valuable right there.
Yeah,
it could be. It was weird to see that Patty Mahomes is still there. So Patty Mahomes still on the board. DeAndre Hopkins is still on the board, and then right there, it's on. Apparently, that's what our former champ, has changed his name to, or should I say, defending champ?
Defending.
So he got DeAndre Hopkins. I could see why. You want a piece of that wide receiver 1 pool, right? And then UAA is pairing Derrick Henry with Patty Mahomes. Looks pretty good. Strategy. Yeah, it's a bold strategy, Cotton, but you have an elite quarterback who's probably in a tier of his own, would you say?
Yeah.
So right there, you got another Kansas City player. That goes CEH and Carson. What do you think about where they went?
I think a little earlier than normal, but knowing this league, every running back was going earlier than normal.
That right there was a precursor as to what was going to happen right there.
Yep. At that point, I was like, all right, I can't play around.
Yeah.
Next best available running back in my pick is what I'm taking. I don't care what was there.
Yeah. I mentioned, I had my running back, so I was going to get the 2 best wide receivers available, but they had to be on a certain tier, right? To me, Jefferson was the bottom of that tier. And the fact that I got AJ Brown and Jefferson, and I've never been able to get both to even be there for a decision for most of my mocks.
Yeah. So that's a nice little pairing with, the best running back in the NFL, with just like 2 running backs.
Yeah, basically. Then let's go turned around and got Godwin after getting Carson. Solid pick. right?
Yeah.
Then Darren Waller, 3rd round with the whole show. Again, the whole show is now a person that he rounds out his team. And then UAA with Mike Evans, which, you got Patty Mahomes, you got Derrick Henry, and you now have Mike Evans there, which is really good because Evans, he maximizes his touches. Then George Kittle. So now we have 3 tight ends off the board at this point. What do you think about George Kittle this year?
I don't know, man. I feel the same about George Kittle every year. I know he's a great player, but the thing that bothers me the most is that the Niners like running the ball too much, and he likes run blocking so much, and that hurts him, hurts his upside. Physically, it hurts him, and this is why it's hard for him to make it through a whole season. But he's an unbelievable talent when he's on the field. Yeah,
he is.
The thing is, how many games is he gonna play?
He's probably the best all-around tight end in the game, right?
Facts.
Then Doc comes around and takes Montgomery. Was he on your list?
That's who I was I had him queued up. I was like, if I can get David Montgomery, and Doc came in here and sniped them from me. So at that point, I was like, I had to pick between James Robinson, Gus Edwards, Daryl Henderson, Miles Sanders. Like, man, look, James Robinson, if it wasn't for Etienne getting drafted, I think it's easily a 2nd round pick. The fact that he's on the Jaguars, people have a distaste for that. But my man was a top 12 running back last year, undrafted, has something to prove, and I'm not mad at that as my receiver. Running back one after the receivers I had.
Yeah. I was singing Reunited, and
so I traded him away last year for Russ.
Yeah.
Do I regret that a little bit? Maybe, but I want to see what it's like again.
But we're here now. We're here now.
Yeah, we back.
Yeah,
Welcome back, James.
And he's still got that chip on his shoulder. All those undrafted guys do, right? You think about Fred Jackson in Buffalo. I think he did pretty good for himself, right? You got Josh Allen. Speaking of Buffalo, Suicide Squad. Then he got his running back in the 1st round. He got his receiver in the 2nd round, and he turns around and gets the stack in the 3rd with Josh Allen. And one of those right after that Mahomes echelon, you got one of the guys at that top with Josh Allen. I like that pick. And then HHM with another sneaky value pick with Miles Sanders. So another person who I didn't really expect is he was rounding out his team because Kelsey basically fell to him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, here we saw running backs coming off the board more. Gus Edwards, Keenan Allen gets taken.
And then Daryl Henderson Jr., who no one really knew what his ADP would be, right? His ADP kind of was all over the place in the off season, right?
Yeah.
His ADP was everywhere, but so far it was not going as expected. And from here, I said, okay, this is nothing like any mock I've done so far. And then once you started seeing guys like Daryl Henderson get their way into these rounds, or like Ryan mentioned with Carson, guys like Carson getting up, then you started realizing that running backs are about to really be scarce coming up in these next few rounds.
I just counted it. Out of those first 32 picks, 20 of them were running backs. So
yeah, so foreshadowing of, and I think Ryan and I were also talking about that every year. I feel like we get into the habit of thinking that we don't know what to expect, but running back runs always happen in our league, right? We got no struggles doubling with running back, right? He had one before. Yeah, Daryl Henderson and then Mike Davis. Mike Davis could either be one of the best picks, or he could turn out to be nothing like we expect.
And if Will watches back, maybe he could drop a comment below. But this man was taken extremely fast. Like, it's like he had his people queued up. He was like, clink, like ASAP. Like, he was ready for every pick. I saw that, Will. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but you were picking mighty fast.
Yeah. Will, let us know, man. Drop it in the comment section below. Let us know. You don't have to tell us where you were, employing your strategy from, but was it your intention to come in and just pick like lightning round, like right away?
Yeah, and he was in a similar situation to you, having those back-to-back picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you had to be prepared knowing, hey, look, I know I'm not going to pick for a while, so I got to take guys that I really like.
Yeah, that's true. What you do start doing is you have a cue in your head. These are the guys that if they're there, I'm taking, right? Not much to think in between our picks. They're right there. So, whoever falls, you got two guys there. Let me take one. Let me think on the next one, right? Like that's crazy. So DeAndre Swift in the 4th round.
It's a nice pick, but again, Dead President's team is looking real sketchy with, again, potential, a lot of it, but a lot of injury risk with Saquon. Now, both of his running backs are capable of going crazy or being injured.
Yeah, very true.
And he has Keenan Allen too, who's probable to get hurt. Like, so, but Devonte Adams, man.
And then I have our boy Pooty here, who last year tried to go at it by mixing and matching quarterbacks, and he got it. We thought that he was a dark horse in the league right this year, but he felt he didn't want to deal with those quarterback issues he had last year, and maybe that puts him over the top this year. So Kyler Murray in the 4th round, he's one of the top, right? He was in that Josh Allen second echelon of quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, I'm curious to see how much. I mean, they can't control him running. I don't think the coaching staff can, but I'm curious to see how hesitant he is to run this year, especially when he did get hurt last year. And it did affect the team overall because they were doing pretty well until he got hurt. He was in that MVP race for a little bit, and then he hurt that shoulder, and he was a whole different fantasy player.
Yeah, that changed everything for them. You're right. We got Allen Robinson here with HHM. So he's getting his wide receiver. Then you got Josh Jacobs, Suicide Squad, nice RB2 to have. Damian Harris, we see you picked him up, a very nice pick. So now you got your second running back. So you got a guy that's could be a fringe RB1, right? If it pans out the way New England wants to. So that was a solid pick there.
Yeah, especially what was available. Like, I love Myles Gaskin, but again, like, is he gonna share the load? Who else was there? Kareem Hunt, I like too, right? But I couldn't afford Kareem Hunt there based on how my team was built. I didn't have anybody like you had, like a
exactly.
To like, I don't have that as my RB1, so I had to take something more sturdy there. But Kareem Hunt as an RB3 for me would have made more sense on my team, but he just didn't make it back to me.
Yeah, 100%. For me, I kind of had the luxury of being able to take a more flex player like a Kareem Hunt, right? But Kareem Hunt could be a RB1 easily. CeeDee Lamb, I kind of felt that this was gonna happen. I felt like he was gonna pick this guy. So that was his first receiver, right? For this one. And then Myles Gaskin, who you mentioned, was on the board for our defending champ. And then Terry McLaurin with UAA. So UAA putting a squad together so far, a nice little team with Fitzpatrick there in Washington. He should definitely get a bump in productivity compared to what he did last year.
Absolutely. Robert Woods went after him.
So the LA boys.
Yeah. Robert Woods and Cup went back to back. Somebody's gonna have to catch the ball there. So
yeah, facts. I mean, and with Stafford there, there's plenty to go around. I'm sure he's in heaven with McVay and that offense, because that's geared for a person like him. Then we mentioned Kareem Hunt. This was my chance to get at least a running back that I felt could be on the RB1 tier if he got the opportunity, but still gets enough opportunities to be good as a standalone. I know I can cement him for 8 points a week, at least 8 to 10 points if I want it. And with McCaffrey, potentially getting those receptions and those rushes, I don't really need much for my RB2. And then I came around and took Sermon because it was either him or Mostert. But I had Mostert last year, and as great a player as he is, I couldn't carry that risk on my team. So Sermon was the guy that was going to trend up because he's the younger guy. He's going to maybe inherit a role, whereas Mostert, I'm not going to keep banging my head against that wall. Yeah,
I agree.
We got A-Rod. I feel like this was not a reach, but this was kind of early for A-Rod.
For sure.
right?
I think he drafted A-Rod as if what he did last year.
Yeah.
Which again, it's not wrong. I mean, if that's who you wanted, you take him. He's not a bad player. Probably last season with Green Bay, so he's gonna go all out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that running back run again, Javonte, Chase, and Mostert.
Yeah, Devonte Williams.
So we've seen teammates get drafted in the same round: Trey Sermon and Mostert, Chase Edmonds, James Conner.
Right. Yeah, you came around and took because again, those are running backs that are on offenses that could sustain enough production for both of them, right? But you know, if one of them happens to get hurt, the other one becomes an elite option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. DJ Moore. I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
Go ahead, you go ahead.
But DJ Moore, I wanted to say, I wish Doc would have let someone else get him because I feel like he has him pretty much every year. No, but that's a great player. It's a really good pick. I like DJ Moore in the 5th.
Yeah, they call it when like running backs in the same team get drafted, like, or their ADPs are similar. It's like ambiguous because they both have the chance to be able to pop off. So it's like we're both gambling at that point.
Yeah.
And for me, like I think Chase. The reason I took James Conner, some people are gonna say it's a reach. I had options of taking Melvin Gordon, which I think Devonte Williams is the better upside there. AJ Dillon, the clear cuff handcuff, but I couldn't afford a handcuff there. James Conner's the bigger back. I think he's gonna be a goal line back. Chase Edmonds, how long is he gonna last? And do they want Kyler Murray to be running in the goal line? So that's what I was thinking about at that point to justify me taking him in the 5th round. I mean, do I love it? No, but for what it was there, I do.
Yeah, with Connor, you carries a somewhat the same injury risk. But sure. You know for sure that he'll get the goal line stuff because he thrives in those situations. Well, he's always thrived, and so you like a guy with a nose for the end zone, especially in that offense. Then we got Suicide Squad taking Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts. I just knew he was going to cost that, and I'm on a wait and see approach with him. Right, I would rather be proven wrong that a rookie tight end is going to exceed all rookie tight ends all time. Right, but he could do it, right? He lines up out wide. He just has a tight end label, really. Russ. We got HHM taking Russ, a QB. And then a tight end. Then a QB. Okay, so we started something here. So 1, 2, 3 quarterbacks gone. And 2 tight ends. Mark Andrews with Pooty. So Pooty now has a quarterback and a tight end. And HHM the same. Yeah. What do you think about taking quarterback and tight ends early? Do you take both, either or not one at all? Nah, I'm not. I'm off of both of them. You'll never see me taking them early ever again.
Yeah, I learned my lesson last year.
Yeah. I'm good on those. But you know, again, people win like that. I'm not the authority on what the best drafts.
Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
But you know, I like to go with tendencies and like trends, right? Trends especially, right? And for me, I feel like more often than not, I can create a winner without having to go too early on those. Then we got Julio, who is an intriguing prospect, a new team, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown. So will he inherit those Jonnu targets and his workload, which is very possible, but will he stay on the field? Right, that's the key. Then another guy, will he stay on the field? Dak.
Yeah, he was cleared, said that he's looking good, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And then we got Tyler and then Dak's teammate. So Tyler Lockett, a nice pick for dead presidents. So that's his third wide receiver, which, that's a really solid flex play. Tyler Lockett, will he be as volatile as he was last year when he did what he did to me? I'm not bitter at all. Then we got Amari Cooper, who, again, one of those banged up guys. What's going to happen there if he plays? Amazing. Then we got Antonio Brown and HHM reunion. I think that if there was something that's not surprising at all, is HHM taking Antonio Brown. 6th round. I think but a lot of people were like, man, that's early. They're taking him now. But I'm sure there were a few people before he picked again that probably would have considered it. because you never know in this league, right? You got Melvin Gordon, Suicide Squad. So it's either Devonte Williams or Melvin Gordon. I tend to go with the younger guy because they drafted someone for a reason. Justin Herbert. So
Yeah.
our boys saw that quarterback run and said, you know what? Let me get my guy.
Honestly, I never had him on any team I mocked. Not because I didn't like him, because I was specifically waiting on quarterbacks. But again, a lot quarterbacks were going earlier than normal. In my opinion, we saw 1, like you said, 2, 3, 4 go off in the last round and a half, and I'm like, all right, this is getting a little less.
Yeah, that pull,
more.
that next level, it's getting skinnier.
Yeah, and at that point, there wasn't a running back that is like, okay, this is a game changer for me. So I was like, I'm gonna just take Herbert here.
Yeah, Herbert's a really good fantasy quarterback. I think we've shown it. He gets some rushing touchdowns, and he has tons of weapons, man. He has weapons that have a nose for the end zone. His tight ends are both athletic. He has one tight end, I think, that's like 6'8". So
yeah, Donald
Parham, yeah. So he's got tons of weapons. I like him as a fantasy quarterback, especially in the 6th round, right? Like, you don't have to go too early to get a quarterback there. Then you got AJ Dillon. So you know why he has Aaron Jones. He knew AJ Dillon. Somebody was going to go for him.
Question. Do you feel like it's cost effective to take your handcuff when your handcuff is expensive too?
No, I don't think so.
I
I think in certain times it is, right? But like, because if you have an early enough pick that your team, you're stacking it, then maybe you have a pick that you can not throw away, but that you can invest early enough. So maybe your team is rounded off enough to offset that. But I don't know if he was in that position personally, right? That he could afford an AJ Dillon here when he could have just maybe taken somebody like a Thielen, right? Like, who was his receiver? He had DJ Moore, right? I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like Thielen, but I feel like Thielen is value there in the 6th round, right?
Or taking like
Dillon
a Ronald Jones.
Yeah, like a starter, right? Like, but you're taking a handcuff early, a person that you don't even know what his role is right now, and you're
limiting your upside there.
Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't personally like. I can get someone else's handcuff that could be just as valuable.
Yeah, I'm always been like, and this is part of my strategy as well, like waiting on running backs. I was hoping to get running backs that I didn't have to stress getting their handcuffs super early. So if they got hurt, whatever, they got hurt. It's a part of the game. But I was going to try to get as many running backs on my team that if the starter in front of them got hurt, and we'll see later in the draft that it would catapult them. Yeah, and not just picking up back at running backs, picking up those elite handcuffs.
So I could see AJ Dillon could be just as nice as Aaron Jones. That's the offense. Also, the thing that kind of offsets it is the type of offense they're in, right? If you have a KC back, then maybe the backup is a little more valuable because that offense is so enticing to be in. There's a lot of factors. So I could see why he did it. I personally don't like taking that's why, if somebody would have taken Hubbard in the 6th, I'd have been like, cool, you got that. You know what I mean?
That's too early.
Yeah, you got that. But I like
the first handcuff. That's the first handcuff that went, right?
Well, besides the twin situation with Denver,
but that's not really a handcuff.
Okay, gotcha.
Because this is a clear cut backup. These guys, you don't know who the starter is.
Right.
We know AJ. What the hell's his name? Aaron Jones is the starter.
Right. Exactly. So that's the first. Yeah. And then we have a nice pair of wide receivers. I was high on both of these guys. I like them. Tom Brady going in the 6th. Now,
I know he wanted Justin Herbert there. I know that hurt a lot of people in that round.
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section if you wanted Herbert.
Yeah, I know. Ricky said for sure, and John said. So I think I picked in front of both of them. And I saw that. I was looking at the draft board overall too. I saw they didn't have quarterback, so I'm like, if I don't take Herbert here, I'm gonna be left with picking for Tom Brady and some of these other guys. So that's what forced my hand there too.
Yeah. So Brady, this is the earliest I've seen him go. But again, you see the person that picked him. He's rounding out his team. He's getting players. I think that people might, again, we talk about reaching versus getting the people you want. I think he just gets the people he wants regardless of what round he's in. Ronald Jones going next. I think that's pretty good value there. He's a starter.
Yeah, I like Ronald Jones.
And then what I did was I turned around and took another San Francisco 49er player. I took Ayuk. I was high as hell on Ayuk, and I could not believe that he was just skipping by. This guy was a guy that they had in the 4th round sometimes. And for me to get him there in the 6th, and then Jalen Hurts was, I was happy that people were taking the Tom Brady's of the world because Jalen Hurts is a fantasy quarterback. Right? I don't care about his completion percentage. I just care about those 65 rushing yards a game.
Points, man. Points.
Yeah, I just get that's 6 points on the ground.
It don't gotta look cute. It just gotta get you points.
Yeah. So I'm happy I got him there. Zach Moss was somebody I was looking at, but I felt like with the quarterback run that happened, I was left with a Tannehill who could have been nice. I like Tannehill a lot. Or Stafford, but none of those guys have Jalen Hurts legs. So that's why I took him there. Then we got Moss. Let's Go is taking it. Is Moss a starter for him or flex?
That's the same setup. Him and I think it might be like no, I think that's his 4th RB.
Okay, yeah. So that's nice.
Because he had Ronald Jones as a flex.
Yeah, that's really nice depth right there. Robbie Anderson as his 2nd receiver for the whole show now. And then we have a New England Patriots pick, if I've ever seen one in my life. A New England Patriots fan pick. This might be the fan pick of the draft.
Facts.
Right? Because Hunter Henry is going to be a solid person. So unless you know some inside information, like I thought Jonnu was the person everybody was talking about as being the take, right? So Henry was going undrafted in a lot of the mocks that I did. But they don't sign these, New England don't sign these tight ends without a plan. So I feel like this is an insider info pick by Nelson right here, because there's got to be something we don't know if he's taking them in the 7th there. We got Odell, who somebody mentioned Odell earlier when we were there, and I just don't like a person coming off injuries, and he hasn't really been productive as a Cleveland Brown, has he? Like elite OBJ?
Nah, like in spurts, yeah. But
yeah. But again, it's if he hits, that's value here in the 7th round.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Hawkinson is a lot of value right here. Hawkinson.
That's why I was looking at Hawkinson right there. He's another pick to snipe me there.
Oh, you were gonna man, he was getting you.
He was.
Then you took Fournette, and I could see why. Ronald Jones, he gets hurt at all.
Ambiguous.
Yeah, you get Fournette. I don't know about Fournette, man. I know that in the playoffs last year he was really good, but I just don't know about him. Maybe it's
that's just like a wait and see.
Yeah, maybe as we joked around about him in the league so much. But I can see in the 7th round, it's like, hey, the worst thing that could happen, he's the Fournette with the production he did last year. Best thing, he inherits more work if Ronald Jones goes down. So that's a really.
But at that point, people don't realize what was actually available. Like Jamal Williams, Devin Singletary. Maybe I could have took him. Sony Michel.
I would have taken Singletary over Fournette.
Yeah. But again, for me, they like Zach Moss, I think, more. Singletary is good, but they're a pass.
I don't know, man. Team. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. That's between y'all, man.
I mean, you're a Bills fan, so I'm not gonna listen to your bias.
That's a Bills inside info, bro. I'm trying to.
Yeah, but they've been hoping Singletary's been a running back.
Yeah, I mean, but you got a Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, and you got who they just signed, Gio Bernard. He's going in on 3rd down, man.
I know for sure, but I'm not starting Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
so I don't...
no, I know. I'm just saying in this round. Personally, Devin Singletary is probably more valuable there. Jamal Williams, look at that right there. He's a starter week 1.
Yeah, good luck for 1 week.
Yeah, but
that team's trash.
but
I want to run it back on a winning
the,
team.
the good thing about him is that he has Swift.
Yeah, again, he's capping himself though.
Yeah, he has Swift. But you're chasing a Detroit backfield. You don't know what that team's gonna look like.
Yeah.
But at this point, you already see the story's playing out. We're just getting running backs. We're just trying to get running backs, and running backs on a good team versus running back on a bad team. I'll take the running back on a good team. T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson. So a pair of AFC North wide receivers by Suicide Squad and HHM. Denver, Jerry Jeudy. I like them. I like those 3 picks.
Yeah.
I like
that back end wide receiver too.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. What is this? Deontay Johnson's what, 3rd year or 2nd?
Third, I think it's just. I don't remember.
This is 3rd year.
Second
yeah, third
or
year.
third.
3rd year. And T. Higgins and Judy's 2nd years. They should see a bump if their quarterbacks can stay healthy, right? Logan Thomas rounding out the 7th. Thomas is nice with Fitzpatrick. We'll see what happens, right? I think that tight ends we're going. So I mean, if you liked your guy, you got to go get him. Your first defense coming off the board, right? Look at that.
Yeah. No comment.
What do you think about drafting defenses?
That makes no sense to me.
Where do you think that is your earliest you would go?
If there were 16 rounds in our draft, 14, 15, or 16, I think that's early. I wouldn't take a guy in the 8th round. I don't care how good the defense is.
Yeah. Then Higby.
It's hard to predict that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's hard to really predict any of this. Tyler Higby, who, as we heard when we were in the draft, I think he was picked because he was in London was running out of time, and he was picked for him. And I like Higby as a tight end. Stafford, we'll see what connection he has, but that offense doesn't really have a standout tight end historically. But remember, they always had those 2 tight ends fighting with each other. When one of them gets hurt, the other one really booms. Maybe finally with Everett over there in Seattle,
he does something.
Yeah, and before this next pick, Galladay, I think Pooty went into our draft headquarters and he told us, hey, I'm going to make a pick. I don't know if you're going to like this or I might be reaching, but I'm going to do it. And you know what? 8th round, Galladay is not a bad gamble.
Yeah.
And especially if he's not relied. I think he's on his bench.
I think so, yeah.
Which is even better. I mean, last year you drafted him when? In the
3rd round.
3rd round. You see, went from a 3rd round pick to an 8th round pick. Then HHM with Jamar Chase going with the young guy. Suicide Squad with Singletary. So, look.
3 Buffalo Bills. Is he a Bills fan?
No, he's not. He's a Giants fan.
Oh, well, the Giants aren't that good, but
did he go?
Makes sense. Jump ship.
So now you got the Buffalo Bills. So now suddenly Buffalo's good, huh?
Yeah.
Suddenly Buffalo's fantasy worthy. We got this is a pick right here that I was like, in the 7th round, I was like, man, is this too early? And then 8th round, I think this is a nice pick, Michael Thomas. We have the IR spot. This is a round where what else is there that's gonna be this much of a difference maker if he comes back healthy? There's no one else.
And it's not like he's taking up a roster spot. Like you said, we have an IR spot, can put him right into it. And I just wait and see. Like at that point, these picks for me is wait and see. I'm not relying on any of these guys to be a starter really, besides when I took my tight end defensive kicker. And if I can get Michael Thomas and pair him up with Tyreek Hill and DK Metcalf, and I can get half of what Michael Thomas was, I'll be happy with that.
We got
Stafford go next.
Tannehill is Stafford, 2 quarterbacks that I would have been okay waiting for those guys. It would have been really Like if I had those guys, I'd be really confident right now because you know what they're gonna bring to the table. I think Stafford on LA is very intriguing. I think again McVay he can't wait till the season starts just to show it off. Only speaking of the Rams, we got Sony Michel, UAA, taking another New England Patriots player. What's the role going to be for him, right? Is he going to be the early down guy? Is Henderson going to be saved for more of the third down stuff? We'll see. Corey Davis, the whole show. I heard a lot about Corey Davis, but the fact that Corey Davis went before a Cortland Sutton or a Deebo Samuel, like to me, although Corey's the number one in the Jets, right? You know what? Yeah, I could see that. Sutton's coming off the ACL. Deebo's like the second option, right? Juju is cooked. Juju is a TikTok star. Tyler Boyd he's good. I like Tyler Boyd, but
he's in a committee.
Yeah, but I could see, you know what? I could see Corey Davis there. That's
a nice pick.
Yeah, that's a nice pick. And you could dump ADP aside. They're not gonna. I think he's the most valuable fantasy player for the Jets.
They paid him to be, yeah.
Yeah. Tanyan, who I really like. I like him. 8th round. You know, I think that's a good value pick. And he has Aaron Rodgers. So now you got a nice little stack there with your tight end. Not too bad. I went with Cortland Sutton, despite the ACL injury stuff. He's still young enough, and Cortland Sutton has special metrics when you look at certain numbers. And Deebo Samuel has the same. So I was really happy to see that both of these guys, despite Deebo being on the Niners, and so is Ayuk, I feel like Deebo would have been on someone else's team anyway. So I'll hold on to him. I'll see what happens. I'm not taking Juju. I'm not taking Juju. I feel like Tyler Boyd, I'm gonna have a nice slot guy, right? That can break, but Jamar Chase is the big guy there, right? Or Higgins. Those are the guys that are gonna be the home run threats there.
It's gonna be a different person every game, and it's gonna be frustrating to start those guys. So I didn't want to have to deal with that. But I mean, they're not bad players. They're all good receivers. It's just there's too many of them.
Yeah.
And it's not bad for Joe Burrow, but it's bad for them. They're hurting each other.
Yes, they are. I mean, Denver, you can argue, has kind of the same thing going, right? They have tons of receivers there, so I'm kind of taking the same risk.
Yeah, but it's Sutton and Judy there for the most part. Like those other guys only did that because Sutton was hurt. Once Sutton comes back, it's his spot.
Yeah.
And they don't really have a tight end. Neither does Cincinnati, but
Denver?
Well, they have Noah Fant, but he's hurt right now.
They got the other guy too.
Yeah.
Alberto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. We got Jarvis Landry who went in the 9th, and I know it's the 9th, but I still, I haven't seen him above a lot of people. But I want to say something about Jarvis Landry. I think every year I say the same thing about when he's drafted, and every year he ends up putting up really good fantasy numbers. So I'm not going to question that pick anymore.
Yeah.
Devonte Smith, who's a high upside guy. Really nice pick here in the 9th. Michael Carter, Jets running back. I don't care about Jets running backs. I don't care what talent he has personally. Again, what kind of offense are we expecting from the Jets? Right? Because
new coaching regime, we don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know yet. So a Jets fan, could be a pick. He knows something we don't know, right? Tony Pollard, I like that because of if we've already seen what he can do in that offense when he gets the chances, right? If anything happens to Zeke, Pollard could be a top tier running back.
For sure.
Yeah. And then we got Kenyon Drake, who's now in Vegas, backing up. And we saw the backup has value in Vegas.
For sure.
So another really nice pick for Suicide Squad. Brandon Cooks, who is always forgotten and always putting up 1,000 yards in the 9th round. Solid pick. Naheem Hymes, little table. Naheem Hymes is what he is. He's a third down back. So he'll have some games. We'll have 2 touchdowns receiving. They'll have other games where he'll have 6 catches for 40 yards, and that only means something in PPR. Philip Lindsay.
Both Houston running backs again. We don't know what's going to happen. So these are lottery tickets at this point. All of these players are lottery tickets.
Yeah. But to take, like, who is the starter there? I feel like there's 3 running backs right now that could say they're starting, right?
Everybody.
Yeah. I really like Mike Williams in the 10th.
I do too. Hope he does well.
Yeah, I like him. Chanel. Chanel. Joe Burrow.
Like Chanel.
Joe.
I didn't think Joe Burrow got drafted. I didn't know he got drafted.
Didn't Little Table have him last year?
Nah.
Will had him.
Will had him.
I feel like
Latavius
Little Table
Murray.
had him at one point. Latavius Murray. So again, handcuffs starting to go. So 10th round, Latavius Murray goes. Baker
He saw me
Mayfield.
snatch his. He was like, I need to go get one.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Baker Mayfield.
Wow, he
going
got
in the
drafted
10th.
No comment.
Yeah, no thanks.
It's not that I don't think it's a good pick there. I just don't think Baker Mayfield's a good fantasy quarterback. Like, he'll be dropped in a couple of weeks.
Same. Alexander
ball,
Madison right here.
Another lottery ticket.
Yeah, but in that running offense, if anything happens to Cook, you got an RB1.
RB1 too.
This is a very nice pick, 10th round, number 7.
I like Callaway.
With Callaway. I love that pick. Nicole Hartman, it's do or die time.
Yep, this is it. This is last year for him to actually.
Yeah.
They're ready to move on.
Yeah. So what is
every year we're like Nicole Hartman is gonna go off. Now Sammy Watkins is gone. Like,
yeah. If he lets these other guys take that number 2 job, then you can pretty much put it in the books for him.
Yeah.
Well, with the Chiefs at least. Cole Beasley in the 10th.
And then Justin Tucker went after him.
And Justin Tucker.
And that's all we're gonna say about that.
And then look, I like Cole Beasley. I'm a Bills fan. I like Cole Beasley. I just, he's a PPR guy to me.
I started Cole Beasley last year.
Although I was just gonna say, I know that you got some pretty solid games out of him. So if he's gonna use him as a flex, second wide receiver to plug in sometimes, I don't mind it. I feel like I feel like somebody will be trying to trade for him by like week 4.
Yeah.
Rob Gronkowski, let's go, taking him in the 10th, and then I took Jonnu in the 10th, and Chuba Hubbard.
What you think about Justin Tucker going at 10?
I feel like if we look back at every single draft we've done in the last 5 years, the best kicker or the kicker that's been perceived the best in fantasy has been taken within the 9th, 10th round every year, the last 5 years. So it's not surprising, and especially who took him is not surprising because you got to look at the cadence of which he picked, and he's rounding out his team. He was going to be the earliest one to take a kicker. He's just been like that the last few years.
So he just wants to look cute on paper.
I think it looks good, bro, when you see your kicker averaging 10 every week, just like your tight end is, just like everything else. It looks imposing, right?
And look, I don't want to sit here and criticize the pick. I think Justin Tucker is probably one of the best kickers in the NFL, but do they even kick field goals like that anymore?
They go for it on 4th down an awful lot.
I've had Tucker before.
Yeah, so that frustrates me. That's why I was off of Tucker, and that's why I'm off of kickers, man. Because
I had Bucker last year, and I seen him miss like 80 field goals.
Yeah, like
Extra
taking
points,
the best kicker for like a best offense is cute, or it's just, man, those teams nowadays, analytics will tell them to go for it. So, what are you left with, really? A person that kicks extra points? A person that kicks extra points? Like, that's just me. Then I took my handcuff in the 11th. That's the price I was willing to pay.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, because if somebody would have wanted to take him, go ahead. But Elijah Moore,
you had to take him here because it was going to be 20-something picks before you picked again. So
yeah, that's true. Elijah Moore, I like the person. Just again, another Jets player. Like, how much are we really expecting from the Jets? Although Zach Wilson's supposed to be the next coming of Aaron Rodgers, supposedly. So
yeah,
so we'll see. That's what everybody's saying. He hasn't even played a full NFL game yet. Devontae Booker, the Giants. like that, right?
That's a nice little solid piece. He might get some work in week 1, and if Saquon gets hurt, then you got a decent backup there. But again, that line still sucks.
And they again, right? Like they've done nothing for that offensive line at all, and it's still Denny Crimes back there. It's not Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
So opportunity might be there for Booker, but opportunity doesn't always mean success.
Right. The Patriots defense, if a defense is going to go early, a Patriots fan, but if the whole Patriots team is intact, there are no, opt-outs with COVID or anything. So we'll see. Michael Pittman, who I like, that was a really good pick. Justin Fields. Justin Fields in the 11th. This was a really good pick.
Yeah, Keith always takes that young quarterback.
And he always works. Then we got Dallas Goddard. I was gonna get Goddard, but Jonnu was just there, and I felt like he was just too valuable for me to pass up on. But I like Goddard because Jalen Hurts is gonna go. Jalen Hurts is gonna stay in the seams. Jalen Hurts is in the seams guy. So Goddard
scrambling for his life. I think Goddard will be there.
Yeah, I agree. Hollywood Brown.
I didn't draft him. I didn't draft him to give me 20 points a game.
Yeah, just give me 5, 6, 7 points. I'm good. Marquise Brown, Hollywood.
Man, they need to change that nickname, man.
Yeah.
Just call him his regular name.
Just call him Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore Brown.
Baltimore Brown.
Because Hollywood ain't nothing Hollywood about him right
now. Ty Johnson on the HHM. I told you before the draft about Ty Johnson, and I felt like he looks really good in that offense. And I know it's just the Jets, but he actually has some juice, man. And he's had juice from back with Detroit, and he has that top end speed. And they had him out there for all 3 downs, which is good to see. So you take anybody that's out there for 3 downs because you're gonna get those opportunities. At worst, you got a flex play, right? JD McKissick,
running backs.
Yeah, JD McKissick, who, again, is a guy that is more valuable in PPR. Round 11, you take him thinking that he is the handcuff, right? But the question is he really the handcuff there? If Gibson goes down, is McKissick going to suddenly inherit that workload?
No way. I'm a Washington fan. That's not happening.
This next guy is an intriguing prospect, but what people forget is that there's always hype around these New England rookies.
Yeah,
every
single rookie year.
Only to have Bill Belichick to show his ugly face again and put the incumbent starter as the starter because he's earned it. And that's what's happening there in New England with Damian Harris. That's his job. Remember, they still have Bolden. They still have James White. And those roles are all secure. And Stevenson may have been the reason he let Sony Michel go. But what does that mean for him specifically? That's the question. Because if it means 10 touches a game, that's promising. But he's, we'll see. We'll see with New England. 11th round. Why not, right? You got Michael Gallup, who's the 3rd receiver over there in Dallas. Did he have 1,000 yards last year, or was he the year before where there were
year
3
before, before CD?
So he's a year away from it, but what is his role now? Mark Ingram, another Houston running back. Again, we have 3 Houston Texans running backs. Houston, who might not win more than 3 games this year.
Will has 2 of them.
Why would you handcuff a Houston running back?
He's just hoping one of them pops. At that point, you're just hoping.
Washington football team defense. I like that pick in the 12th. Because
Benny Snell.
Yeah, Benny Snell. Then T.Y. Hilton. We might have our first IR pick here. Right? No, you had Michael Thomas. That was an IR pick. Solid pick in the 12th. Why not, right? Gesicki, I really like Gesicki. And then Trey Lance. Another one of those young guys. I feel like there were 3 young quarterbacks in this draft. And that was one of them. 3 young quarterbacks that I would take. Jaylen Waddle, who in Miami. with Tua. Rashad Penny. Isn't Alex Collins the backup?
I don't know, man. It's useless at that point.
Yeah, but Rashad Penny, he still has the talent, right? Everett,
backup tight ends getting taken now.
Yeah. Then Marvin Jones, you got him going off the board. He's always decent. Then I took Trevor Lawrence. I said I'm gonna take the last of the young quarterbacks that I liked, that has high upside. And then Jared McKinnon. I heard a lot about them liking him, so that's why I picked him. I think that 13th round, again, we're all just trying to find those diamonds in the rough. DJ Chark in the 13th round, that could be super valuable. Daryl Williams, I don't know. I feel like he is what he is, even in that offense.
He's a body.
Yeah, he's a body.
Big Ben, waiver wire.
That's tough. I would take
I
would take Zach Wilson over Big Ben at this point, to be honest. But as his backup, he got Patty Mahomes. What he got to lose, right? Like he could dump him next week and it wouldn't hurt him. Tevin Coleman in the Jets offense. We'll see what he does. This is a good pick. Tyson Williams.
Yeah, another snipe for me.
Yeah.
I was looking at Tyson here.
So you took Damien from Chicago. That's a good pick.
Clear cut backup.
Yeah, exactly. And Suicide Squad with the Tampa Bay defense. Then another nice pick by HHM with Jameis Winston. Really sneaky, man. I would take him over Big Ben in a heartbeat. Carlos Hyde. Back to the well that one.
I guess the backup.
Darnell Mooney.
Nice little pick.
Solid route runner. If Fields,
Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers. Those are two really good picks there. I love. Myers. Let me tell you something. Myers, he's gonna get a lot of work. Harrison Butker, your old friend. They're on the 14th round. You imagine what he cost last year compared to what he costs now. But those extra points are good. When he kicks 2 field goals in those games, he's gonna make you look like a genius. But those games that they only score 6-7 touchdowns and they have nothing to play for the rest of the game, where they're punting.
Yeah, or going for it. Yeah,
because again, the analytics is supporting people going for it on 4th and 2nd.
The Chiefs will go for it on 4th and 8.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if they're on the other side. So, Bernard, who again a 3rd down back, cool. We liked him, but Terrence Marshall Jr., we'll see what role he has. He has a better quarterback. Carolina, better quarterback. We'll see what happens. Aguilar in New England, the San Francisco 49ers defense. Nice defense to have and, shuffle around. Pittsburgh's defense, who's always putting pressure and getting sacks. Tyler Bass is going to be a solid fantasy kicker. Robbie Gould. Gabriel Davis, I like that pick. Jared Patterson. I took Jared Patterson because to me, if Antonio Gibson gets hurt, they're going to give the bulk of the carries to him. And they're going to keep McKissick in his role. Tariq Cohen is just an injured reserve guy. One of the worst that could happen, I hold on to him and he comes and maybe Montgomery's hurt or something like that. You never know, right? Baltimore's defense, Denver's defense, Sterling Shepard, any value picks here. Buffalo's defense, Cleveland defense, Joshua Kelly. I feel like we've seen what we need to see from him. And then the last round is Mr. Irrelevance, and we have Boston Scott, Zach Wilson, who's everyone's excited to see what he does.
Yeah.
And
Russell Gage.
Yeah. Blankenship, he was a really good fantasy kicker last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tony Jones. Wayne Gallman, he picked this is a snipe for me. I was gonna go for Gallman. So I just pivoted to Jeff Wilson Jr. and I said, let me just throw him on the IR. So what do you want to do? You want to just really quick go team by team?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just really quick. Okay.
1 minute rapid fire.
Yeah, 1 minute rapid fire. First one, HHM. Go.
So Russell Wilson, A-Rob, Deontay.
And he got a B+, best. He got the #1 draft. Basically, I think he got the medal for it.
He's got a lot of receivers.
Yeah, I like his quarterbacks. He has fantasy quarterbacks. So Jameis Winston is a fantasy quarterback traditionally, and Russell Wilson, when he hits, he hits.
Yeah.
He's got Miles Sanders as RB2. Miles Sanders was going second round last year, maybe first round last year. So it's crazy. Kelsey, that gives him a lot of his team now is stretched out. It's not like running back heavy. It's not wide receiver heavy. His team just has a lot of depth and length. So that's really good.
It's a decent balance.
Yeah. It's a really balanced out team. I like it.
The thing that scares me the most is that Latavius Murray is his third running back.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little sketchy. I think taking Kelsey hurt his depth, and I think he took a lot more receivers than he wanted to.
Unless his intention is flexing a receiver.
Yeah.
All year, because that could be very well be it.
Yeah, but to take Antonio Brown in the 6th round and then have him on your bench.
Yeah.
But again, that's not his starting lineup. Who knows what he's going to do? But
yeah, exactly. And plus,
his
remember,
depth at RB scares me. But he has Travis Kelce, so who cares about his depth?
And remember that there's waiver wire too. So
yeah,
let's go to no struggles here. He got a B grade. He went with Ridley and Eckler as his first 2 picks. Dak Prescott, I like that quarterback. I like his receivers, his running backs. Henderson is a question mark, but because of his injury history. But if Henderson is healthy, I think he's going to have some good numbers over there this year.
Yeah.
Logan Thomas is his tight end. What does Fitz do with him? If he gets those touchdowns in the red zone that Gesicki was getting, right? then Logan Thomas looks like a good pick. And then Mike Davis, Atlanta.
Who's your favorite player on this team? Let's do that too. Who's your favorite player on this team?
Favorite player on his team is, I gotta go with Dak Prescott. And I would say because if Dak plays like Dak was playing last year, those first 5 games, then he's got something.
Yeah, mine's Calvin. That's somebody I was looking at.
Yeah.
And they took him before me, but Calvin Ridley's nice.
Yeah. Oh, Mike Williams. Can I give him an honorable mention? I really like Mike Williams, man. Especially with that young gun out there in LA.
Herbie.
Yeah. Let's go to Apex. So he changed his team name again. Since we've been here, he's already had 2 team names. So Ryan Tannehill, solid. Hopkins and Thielen. We're going back with Thielen this year. So the defending champ so far has a nice team. His number 1 pick was Chubb. Solid RB1.5, man. And then Gaskin is his RB2, bringing him back for another title run. So far looks good. Kittle, balance. Mostert is his flex, balance. Then you have OBJ, Devontae Smith, and Hardman, who are 2 high upside guys. Pittman, starter out there, right? On his bench, Rashad Penny and Coleman and Tony Jones. So running back depth isn't quite there, right? But he has 3 that he can go with while he has them. He can go with this lineup and know that he's going to thrive pretty much. Yeah, my favorite player, I think most people would say Chubb is their favorite player on the team. I personally am not a fan of Chubb for other reasons, but my favorite player is Myles Gaskin. I think that's a baby Eckler. If he can stay healthy and stay on the field, he's a game changer, man. You saw what he did last year. I saw single-handedly what he did to me. He's a problem. Yeah, same. Well, mine on his team, I'm going to give it to. I'm gonna go with Adam Thielen. That guy is a like a tight end in the red zone, basically. He's like an elite tight end. Facts. It's his scoring opportunities. So, and there's trust there in the end zone with him and Cousins. So I don't see that going away just suddenly, right? So I like Thielen, and especially where he got him. That was big. So a really nice draft. Look, they give him a C+, man. We're not giving you a C+, man. Don't worry about that. C-. Kidding. B-, Segna. We have dead presidents, the regular season champ last year.
C+, I agree.
Yeah, so he got a C+. Devonte Adams was his first pick. Saquon Barkley fell to him in his second, which is huge.
Yeah, I love his receivers. I think he might have the best 3 receivers overall.
Mm-hmm.
His RB depth is a little sketchy. Again, injury risk, but that's with any running back.
He has the
Devonte
high
Adams.
injury risk with his running backs.
Yeah.
I like his starting wide receivers and his quarterback. That's for fantasy. That's so good, man. His running backs, if they stay on that field, those running backs are going to be a problem.
Facts.
And then Tyler Higby with Matthew Stafford, I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So you look at his starting lineup, you like it, but then you look at his bench. You have Jamal to replace for the time Swift is out. That's solid. But then, Phillip Lindsay in Houston, what role is he going to have? Right? Even if someone gets hurt, what role is Lindsay really going to have to make him fantasy relevant? And
Stevenson, who rookie running backs in New England don't really get any play.
Right.
Unless everybody gets hurt, and then Giovanni Bernard is a third down back. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst, but
that depth-wise, I'm not too fond of it. But if we're talking about from running back to quarterback, like from there up, that's as solid as anybody's. And I'm sure he'll have a solid year because of that. Because last year he kind of did the same thing where he had the shaky and something here popped fall for him, and it ended up working out perfectly for him. So I won't question the strategy there. I feel like he's got a good one. We got Doc here. First pick was Aaron Jones. Then he got who was the second pick?
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon, right. So 3 starting running backs, and then he built around that. So he got CeeDee Lamb, DJ Moore. I like both of his receivers a lot. I like Stafford. I like his team. It's a really good team, man.
Balanced team. I don't love Joe Mixon, but he's a good player. I like Aaron Jones. Obviously, my favorite player on this team. CD, a lot of hype. Let's see if he can hold up to it. He's going to perform.
I think he will.
Yeah, he's going to perform. It's just how much. DJ Moore, same thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, Moore is one of the best fantasy players. Touch by touch. One of the best. Will they increase his role to get him some touchdowns maybe? Like if he gets a few touchdowns, man, then he's elite. Because he's already
with Lamb. I think he's gonna get the yards for sure, but they need to score more touchdowns. 5 and 4 from your receivers. I mean, that's last year, but
but trust me, man, he didn't get a chance to gel with Dak.
Oh no, for sure.
It's gonna be different for CD this year, man. I'm
hoping. I know he's gonna get the yards. You think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have double-digit touchdowns?
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch. If it ain't 10, it's 8. It's gonna be 10, bro.
I just feel like nobody in Dallas ever had double-digit touchdowns since Des Bryant.
Didn't Amari have it?
I don't think he's ever had double-digit, bro. I'm gonna check right now.
Didn't Amari have it that year, 8 to 10? Didn't he have like 8 to 10 that year, 2 years ago?
I'll tell you right now. 5, 8. That's what I'm saying. Still
8. I said 8 to 10, bro. I take 8 from CeeDee Lamb. That's more than 5.
Yeah. I said double digit though. So.
I said 10, at worst 8.
Yeah, I'll take 8. Is not bad.
Yeah.
But that, as your wide receiver 1, he better have 1,400 yards.
Yo, watch CeeDee Lamb this year.
And again,
watch CeeDee Lamb this year.
I've always been you got to show me first. Like that's it. I'm not saying he ain't good. I just want to see it first.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we can't.
Next year he might be a second-round pick for all I know.
Yeah, no, he will. DJ
I just
Moore,
can't say that with as much certainty. That's it.
Yeah, it's cool. We got Hawkinson, then David Montgomery, who we like.
I love Hawkinson.
AJ Dillon. Yeah, Hawkinson, where he got him was really nice, especially to round out his team like this.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon, he had to get his handcuff. Michael Carter, so he went out and got a back hoop. They say he has upside there. Marcus Callaway, the starter in New Orleans on his bench, right? It's always valuable. Justin Fields, man, he could be big. Jaylen Waddle, another one of those guys. Baltimore running back, Tyson Williams, and then Malcolm Brown, who he's probably gonna have one relevant fantasy week this year, right? But all in all, favorite player on this team?
Aaron Jones for sure, no bias.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, I'm gonna go with CD because I just watch what Dak does with him this year. Let's go to, who do you want to go to next? Let's go to Let's Go. His first pick was
Dalvin.
Wow, good for you, man. Good for you. Dalvin Cook, and then he came back and got, who do you get next?
Carson.
Chris Carson. So Aaron Rodgers, Godwin, Kupp, Tanyan. I like this team. Zach Moss, Juju, Gronkowski. Yeah, I like this team. Gronk is another guy that it doesn't look great, but watch us look up and Gronk like have some games where you're like, he scored 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp and Godwin. I like Godwin a lot. I like Cooper Kupp, Aaron Rodgers. If you said it, he's banking on him having the same year he had last year. This team works if he has that. But Carson, he stays healthy, really good. Ronald Jones, he stays healthy. He's dope.
Damn, Kupp only had 3 receiving touchdowns last year.
But he had Jared Goff throwing to him. Not that I think he's a double-digit guy, right? Didn't he have double-digit when London had him a few years back?
I think he might have had 10 or 11, 12, one of those.
He's always had that nose for the end zone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's Woods or which one,
Do I prefer?
Yeah. Which one would you say?
I prefer Robert Woods. I don't know, man. Cooper Kupp is nice though. Cooper Kupp had 10 the year before.
Exactly.
I think Kupp is good for 1,005, like guaranteed. 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns, guaranteed. I think Robert Woods, like 1,207, guaranteed. Like,
and it might be 9 combined because he'll have like 2 rushing touchdowns because they have end arounds and shit for him. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. I think Robert Woods just get better opportunities.
Yeah, totally. But let's give me your player that on this team.
My favorite player. I mean, it's easy to say Dalvin Cook, I guess, but I mean, if Tanyan can score 11 touchdowns again, that'll be big. I don't know if that's gonna happen. He will definitely have more yards, but shit, I like Tanyan as
even if he regresses, regresses to like 6 to 8 touchdowns, are you still happy? Are you happy with him?
Yeah, and if you give like 700 to 800 yards receiving, go up with the yards. I think 800 receiving yards and like 6 to 8 touchdowns, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, I agree. I like him. For me, I'm gonna go with a guy that's on his. No, I'm gonna go with a guy on his bench. DJ Chark. What role is he gonna have? Shenault is the popular guy, right? But we're forgetting the talent that DJ Chark has, and now he has. Not to cut you off.
He has 5 guys on a bye in week 7, and 5 guys on a bye in week 9. And his quarterback and his tight end on a bye the same. That's what sucks when you have a stack. But again, it's only 1 week.
Got you. Yeah. There's a few things that I like that I did that too. I think week 13 for me. I think week 13 is the one.
Because the Niners are on.
And the crazy thing, no, I have a few other players too that not just the Niners. So I think I play HHM that week too. So it's like, of course, it works out that way.
I haven't seen my bye week. I'm about to check it out now when we look at it.
Yeah, I got Chark here just because, not that I don't like anyone here. I think these are obvious ones. I just really feel like DJ Chark, just like your Tanyan pick, is like, these are dark horse guys right here. These two.
Yeah, Chark only had 100 yards less than Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin went in like the 3rd round.
And Chark didn't even have a quarterback you could name last year.
Yeah.
Let's go to who are we going to next? Little Table. Little Table, who we had trending up, made the playoffs last year.
He might have probably my favorite running back group.
I like his group a lot.
I like his group better. I like his group better than Keith's, and I think Keith might have the second strongest group from what I've seen so far. I think Pootie has the best running back room. Not even a question. Yeah.
Because he got those offenses, man. Those offenses that are geared to give it to those guys.
Yeah, Gus Edwards in the flex. That's crazy.
That's big. That's huge. And then Galladay on the bench. That's big, man. Because at worst, he plays like a wide receiver too. At best, he finds it again and he's a wide receiver 1 like he was last year, or he's supposed to be last year. Amari Cooper, banged up, but if he plays, he can play hurt. And he got his quarterback. Hines, Burrow, McKissick, Benny Snell. So those are the handcuffs. Then we got Carlos Hyde. We're back to this Carlos Hyde stuff. It's like, if I bet you if you wouldn't have gotten Fournette, he would have been on this bench. I bet you, bro. Russell Gage and Koo in Cleveland. So give me your player here.
I'm gonna say Gibson. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson is solid, man. So good.
I wanted him bad.
He's got a good team, man.
I love his running backs, man.
Yeah, he's got a good team. And Kyler Murray, he doesn't have to deal with that quarterback shit anymore. Kyler Murray.
I don't think Kyler's gonna run for that much.
No.
I think he has less than 100 carries. It'll be way more like strategized. Like I think last year he was just running like his head was cut off. And then his shoulder almost got cut off, and they're like, "All right, you need to chill."
He'll probably be at like 600 to 700 yards rushing, and he'll have like 5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. I don't think they'll let him do 11 again.
No. It's too much. His arm is worth too much.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even know who their backup is.
I have no idea. Chris Johnson. No, I'm kidding. My player here that I'm seeing. Gus the Bus, Rutgers University. Let's go, baby. I think I was looking at Gus. Let's see what happens. Me too, man. Let's see what happens here when you get the opportunities and you're not the guy coming off the bench. With 10 touches, this guy is one of the best in the league. So imagine what he does with a full workload where he gets 15 to 20 touches. I'm excited to see what he's going to do for sure. And Las Vegas is his first matchup on paper. This should be an enticing matchup for him.
Monday Night Football too.
Yeah. Lamar's got a chip. So, good team, man. I feel like everybody's built a really good team. It feels like A-. So he had the best grade, but HHM won the best draft. We got the stack. Look at this. I could take him off my watch list. Stephon Diggs, the nice stack. T. Higgins, who he's very popular, but again, there's 3 receivers there. We have no idea who the guy is there. Jonathan Taylor, who he fell to him, it was really good pick. Josh Jacobs being your number 2 running back when he was going in the first round last year is huge. Kyle Pitts, he has a wide receiver, a tight end potentially. Melvin Gordon, I'm not big on him, but I feel like we always sleep on someone like this, and he ends up having that one last great year, right? This could be it for him because Javante's nipping at his heels. Singletary, who I like a lot. Kenyon Drake, we already saw that those second running backs in Vegas are valuable.
Oh, but he got both. I just realized he had both.
Yeah. So he has him as a handcuff. Baker Mayfield, not a fantasy quarterback to me. Prove me wrong. I hope so, but you're not. Hollywood Brown, he's actually Baltimore Brown. Gesicki, I like him a lot in fantasy. Aguilar, no idea what he's going to do over there. And Tony is a New York Giants fan pick because really, like, they got Darius Slayton as their 4th receiver.
Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah, nah. We're good on that. It proved me wrong. Like I said, I like to go with trends in history. But solid, special teams unit. Well, who's your player here?
I got two here. I'm gonna cheat. I like Kyle Pitts. I want to see what he does, and I want to see if Jonathan Taylor, with all the obstacles he has to jump over this year, all the hurdles, see if he can actually do something. But he's a great player too.
I'm gonna go with
no bias.
I'm gonna go with Devin Singletary.
This guy might as well change his name to Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, for real. I'm gonna go with Devin Singletary only because this is all the work that us Bills fans know that Devin Singletary has put in, and all the faith that the Buffalo coaches have been talking about. Despite Moss being there and them liking him too, a lot of people in Buffalo in that locker room are pulling for Devin Singletary to prove himself, and I think Motor is going to show it this year. And Buffalo's got a solid group, man. Like when you could put Matt Breida in there on third down sometimes, I just think that core is really good. And I think they'll lean a little bit more on the running game. Not drastically, but I think they'll have a better scheme to, protect Josh a little bit more. Not that you need it. He's a beast. But that's my guy. Let's go with my team. Let's go with my team.
Okay.
You want to save us for last?
No, that's fine. You're already there.
Yeah, let's just go, man. I'm already on my team. So we pretty much already know who I got on this team, but I like my receivers. And then CMC, I don't have to worry about that running back situation. Jonnu Smith got him late. Yeah, pretty much got some handcuffs in there.
I love Jalen Hurts. That was the guy I was targeting if I didn't get Justin Herbert. Yes, Kareem Hunt as an RB2 when you got McCaffrey. If anything happens to Chubb and he misses any games, then we know what Kareem Hunt can do. He scored 11 touchdowns last year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
1,100 total yards. Jeez.
Yeah, that's why I like Kareem Hunt as a running back too, because I need him to be a low-end RB2. I don't need him to be anything more than that.
And I saw that they might have both of them on the field at the same time.
Oof, that only helps me out. Sermon, it's just obviously when he takes, and even so, his projections are 10 a week. Because again, that Niners backfield, do the numbers, everyone. Do the numbers on the Niners backfield. It can sustain 2 fantasy relevant running backs. So I did this. Go ahead if you want to pick a player that stands out.
Oh, my favorite player. I was looking at Justin Jefferson all year. Like at the beginning of the year when I was mocking, Justin Jefferson was somebody I was targeting, even with like my second pick. The fact that he fell to you at the end of I know a lot of he got that little injury and people were like kind of off.
Yeah.
But man, this man had 1,400 yards as a rookie. Like that's insane.
That's insane. Yeah.
So
I saw what he did on Ricky's team. I said I might need that.
But you see your receiving touchdowns 11 and 7. Like that's just different.
That's different.
That's not 6. That's not 4. That's not 3. That's not 5. And that was a rookie who did that, 14 and 7. And then AJ on 70 catches had 11 touchdowns.
So I'm gonna hop on that and give you my favorite player, and that's Jonnu Smith, because they have handoffs for him in New England, and just like they had handoffs for him, just like they had handoffs for him in Tennessee. He's just a special player physically, man. And the funny story on Jonnu Smith, his rookie year, I know that what was the tight ends there? Delaney Walker was hurt. And I said, yo, this guy's gifted. I'm going to put this guy in. He gave me 0. And I just dropped him, and I never wanted to go back to him. But I just feel like he's in a perfect situation. Even with Hunter Henry there, this might be a tight end system where Jacoby Myers might be the complement to everything that's going there. So, look, the touchdowns is what we want, right? We want the efficiency and with the touches that they have. That's why he's the guy I'm keying in on. Oh, and Jared McKinnon, can I throw him in there as an honorable mention in Kansas City? He has a perfect skill set for a third down back there.
Yeah, he's been looking fast.
Yeah, so which he always does, and he got burnt out in San Francisco. Maybe they gave him too much on his plate. But that's my team. C+ grade. I don't have a kicker or defense, so maybe I deserve that grade.
Your Bullis attorney still. Yeah, your Bullis attorney hasn't gone yet.
UAA, our boy. I think last year he had a solid draft. I think this year he had a pretty solid draft.
Yeah, he lucked out with receivers dropping so much.
Mike Evans and McLaurin.
That's nice.
Derrick Henry, solid. Edmonds, if he doesn't get hurt and he plays, he's dynamic. 800 yards total and 5 touchdowns in those opportunities that he got. And he splits it evenly, 400 and 400. That's crazy. Edmonds is dynamic as the RB2. And then Hunter Henry is the guy that we're looking at, right? Interested in seeing what his role is going to be. Chase Claypool, who I was super high on. Touchdown monster. So that's his flex. I don't know about, the Sony Michel thing. What is that going to look like with the Rams? Right? Don't the Rams like running backs that can catch the ball?
I don't know what they're doing. He might be a goal line back or something, maybe.
Yeah. He was taking over that Malcolm Brown role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jarvis Landry, we talked about him. We talked about Beasley. Solid guys. Everett could be a solid tight end. He has the tools for it. Big Ben is cooked. He's spaghetti. No offense. I mean, that's the one player I could say he's cooked for sure. Sterling Shepard, Marlon Mack. The Marlon Mack coming back. We'll see what happens what his role is. But that's Taylor's team. And then the Patriots defense, you always have to mention them because they're like a fantasy player.
And you got Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. So who's your
Terry McLaurin? I'm not biased here.
Yeah.
I think Terry McLaurin as wide receiver 2 is pretty damn good, man. Yeah. That's one of the best wide receiver 2s in the league.
With Fitz, it fits.
And you got Mike Evans, who just all he does is score touchdowns.
Look at these touchdowns here. 13, 9. Like that's big. These guys right here, like Claypool and Evans, are like, and with Mahomes and Derrick Henry, you don't need the rest of the people to do much. It's a solid team. I really like it. And my player, I'm gonna go with. We already talked about him. Let's go with Chase Claypool. Maybe Big Ben is not gonna have that arm to go deep with zip or whatever, but they have a lot of plays for Claypool. He scored 2 rushing and 9 receiving. They're gonna put it in his hands, and with height and speed like that, it's gonna play. Let's go with.
I think I'm the last one, right?
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss anybody.
So you got a B grade. Herbert, Tyreek, Metcalf. So probably the best receiving group. 1, 2. And the running back group, you went with James Robinson with RB1 and then Damian Harris. So more of like low end RB1s, high end RB2s. And Harris could be that guy that if he trends the way we see him trend, right? Especially with Michelle not being there, he could be good. Dallas Goddard, he is what he is. You just need him to do what he normally does, and he'll be all right. Connor's the guy that, let's see what his role is. He could be the guy benefiting from them trying to keep Kyler Murray healthy, right? He could be the guy that's going to take those 6 touchdowns.
I didn't even know he had that many yards last year.
He's going to take those 6 touchdowns from Kyler, and you add maybe 2 touchdowns to that. Maybe he has 8 rushing touchdowns, 9, 10 rushing touchdowns. You don't expect that from James Conner, but he's still, how old is he?
20, I think I saw 26, 25, one of those.
Wow. That's crazy. Fournette, Pollard. So we got like the handcuffs going.
Handcuffs, bro, yeah.
Trey Lance, who is special talent. Curtis Samuel from Washington, no bias. Mm-hmm. But Samuel, remember, he was a running back at some point last year. So this guy,
he had 1,000 total yards. I didn't even notice that.
5 total rushing touchdowns, or 5 total touchdowns. Will Fuller, who is always a nice pick towards the end. Everybody always forgets about him, but when he plays, he's relevant. 879 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. And then Michael Thomas, who can be, when he comes back, wide receiver 1, and then you got him in your flex, and you don't even have to worry about the flex for the rest of the year, which is insane if you had those 3 guys. My favorite guy, I'm going to say it is DK Metcalf, because you got a big guy like that can get the yards he can get and they can get the touchdowns he can get, and his offense is supposed to be better this year. He's gonna have a better route tree to run from rather than just going deep and taking slants. I think those are the only two routes he's doing last year. Yeah, I like DK.
Yeah, my favorite player is James Robinson, man. I was watching highlights of him running again, man. He just runs different. Like, he runs like he wants to get into the end zone every single time. He has a point to prove. They drafted a running back. I mean, karma, or maybe he's just meant to be the starting running back, and he's right back in the same spot. They try to cancel him, but they can't.
Yeah, facts.
It's destiny at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We'll see what happens there. That's pretty much it, right? We got through everybody. Yeah, HHM, no struggles. Why so serious? Little table. Apex, let's go. Yeah, we did. Everybody did good. I feel like
it's a balance. Nobody got a D or F. Everybody got a C and above. That's pretty good.
If you're looking at the schedules for week 1, you know, it's intense. We already got me and John going at it. So I got him twice this year. Got HHM and Suicide Squad. You know, Suicide Squad has a good team. Look at that. This year, I've never seen this where everybody's like 110, 115. Except me with no kicker or defense.
Yeah,
and you with no kicker.
Yeah.
But this year is not going to be easy, man. Feels like if everybody applies the same attention that they've been applying to this draft, and I feel really good about it. So any final thoughts, my friend? Anything you want to leave us with?
Season starts Thursday. We got the Cowboys and the Bucks playing. We'll see what happens.
Oh, you know what? We've had him waiting. You want to put in the video real quick before we sign off? Yeah. So right here, like we said, thank you for watching. We have video of our trip to the farm where we drafted. There were goats there. We had some dogs there. We had a lot of good food. We had our friends. So all right. So we had our friends. We had everything. So without further ado, this is the video right here.
Champ is here, ladies and gentlemen.
You damn right.
We got the champ right here.
Yeah.
And we got
Mr.
In-season champ right
here.
I was last year's
Patriots.
I was last year's key.
Well, what'd you say, bro?
What?
What'd you say? Is about to be over for him?
Oh yeah, it's not champion once the season starts.
Oh God.
Once we
draft,
draft,
enjoy this.
That's it, bro.
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Hey, champ, you got anything to say before the draft?
I don't know. I'm still spending his money, so.
Oh my God, that hurt me, bro. You spending my money too.
It makes me feel like I'm
in it alone, bro. You spending all our money.
It makes me feel like I'm still a champ, so it's all right.
It's officially football season here. We are doing our draft here. This is guys at the Lights Out League right here. We got all the guys right here. Yeah, so the number 1 pick. Got the rest of the guys here. We're doing tests, waiting for other people to join. Let's see who has the best draft. They wanted me to focus on something specific. And if you look at this, look at these intricate notes. Apparently, there are Andy Reid like laminated cards with highlighted on it.
Mike, can you just show us very quickly?
I've never seen this before.
Don't be shy.
And apparently he's gonna have it over his face so nobody can see what he's saying. So they wanted me to record this so when Ryan is back in the championship, or one of y'all is.
Ryan versus who?
Ryan versus somebody, one of y'all.
Ryan.
We'll see.
Ran out of time. He managed to pick his player though. He mocking. I thought you were praying. He mocking.
How intense this is. We actually are getting ready to get started.
Motherfuckers that want to draft their story.
What I told you I was gonna do, yo. What I told you I was gonna put pressure on him from the jump.
Motherfuckers blowing up his app game. There it is.
Don't like think that like.
What do you think of the draft so far, bro?
Yo, I think it's been better than past years, but I think there are a lot of strong teams developing and a lot of weak teams developing. So I think it's balanced.
Okay, balance. He says balance, Ryan.
Yo, this pick right here though, I might reach, and this is gonna be a pivotal pick for me. Y'all might be laughing at me the rest of the year, or y'all might be like, "Damn, Pootie, you had some cojones." Oh yeah, what pick is that? I'm picking next. I'm looking at Goddard. Just to fucking take him.
Kung Fu Kenny?
I mean,
His hamstrings in
his hamstrings ain't no good. I'm a sufferer, but
whole lower body.
I just don't want.
Reporting live post-draft, it's a little nippy.
You know what I'm saying? But
We got the champ,
shit done.
the former champ.
whoa.
Well, this is a new year, bro. We already got a new team.
All right.
It's a former champ. Okay, you got a good team. Okay, bye. It's like, no. So what you feel about the team?
Oh, I'm confident. We in there. We in the playoffs.
Okay. All right, we got Why So Serious here. How you feel about the draft? Let's go. Let's go talk to the rest of the gang. We got Keith here. How you feel about the draft, my brother? How you feel about it?
I feel like a winner.
Surprise player that you didn't think you were gonna get?
Hawkinson.
That was a good pick. Yeah. He was lingering, man. I was gonna get him, but good team. I see you got all the running backs in the world, and I see you haven't learned your lesson about Jets players, but that's fine.
He's my
Yeah. Yo, you got a nice team, bro. I see you got Josh Allen. He was talking about Josh Allen the whole time.
That's right.
Sneaky bastard. What do you
I
think
took
about the team?
I liked it. I was happy.
Yeah.
I took Diggs in the second round. I was hoping Josh Allen would fall to me in the third.
So you got the stack.
Got the stack.
Very nice. Sneaky. Okay, Suicide Squad is armed to the teeth. And we got our boy here. How you feel about your team, my brother?
I mean, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You think you good?
Yeah,
I like your team too, bro. Like your team. Good job, per usual. I
mean, it's getting harder, bro. It's getting harder every year to freaking draft in this league because everybody's getting like way better. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
It's like
And even though you still managed to put together a really good fucking team.
I tried.
Our boy, sorry for interrupting here, but what do you think?
Time will tell.
Did it go as planned or not?
Hell no. Zeke at 9?
Yeah, Zeke at 9. That was
I ain't know what to do. I wanted Devonte.
Yeah.
I wanted Aaron Jones. I ended up with Zeke. We'll see how
That's
it goes.
really good though. Yeah. Nice. We got our guy here. Took Hunter Henry in the first round.
Yeah, because they took my Camaro.
How you feel about the team?
They up for they on the
Trade block, the whole
trade
team?
block, the whole team.
Okay, who's the first man? Can we talk?
Can we talk?
I'll get you on the podcast first.
Big Ben. Who wants to pick up Big Ben?
Let's talk.
Nah, I feel good with my team.
Yeah, I think you got a good team.
think
Patrick
this year's
Mahomes and
league-
Henry, right? Those are the anchors.
Definitely.
That's not bad.
Definitely.
Good shit. I see you. Yeah, we good. We good. And there we have it. So,
Hope y'all enjoyed that.
hope y'all enjoyed that.
Looking forward to recapping every single week and going from there, man.
Yeah, and this show, you're going to see a lot of different guests. We actually have something special for you coming this year. We're going to have a cross episode with another podcast show, another fantasy football podcast and friends. We're going to do a collab with them. We're going to have a sports handicapper. Is that what we can call them? A sports bettor or handicapper, a person that supplies picks, one of the best, El Capitan. Can't wait for you all to see him. And this year, we have an open forum where we're going to invite more people from the show to join us on a weekly basis. So that should be fun. I know there's already a lot of drama starting. We won't get into that yet, but just know that we're looking forward to it. Anything else, Rye?
No, that's it, man.
All right. So for Ryan, I'm P. Thank you for joining us. And that's the Fantasy Standard.